All right, team, turns!
Take me out on the water.
We eat, fish eat.
Way out in the woods. Where the breathing is easy, the living is good.
All you can do is just laugh.
Out in the great outdoors.
Larry Smith Outdoors is brought to you in part by Warrior Boats, The Badger Sportsman, Big Snow Resort, Wilderness North Lodge, Jiffy, Hard and Soft Fishing, Bartline Barrels, Cold Snap, Deep Freeze, Otter, Kamick Law Firm, Lynch of McGuanago, and Wings Over Wisconsin.
And remember, it's a great day to be alive.
Out in the great outdoors.
Holy moly.
Hey, where were you? You said 6 o'clock.
You're not gonna believe it. Look at the dent in my door.
What the-
A deer ran right into the side of my truck. You know something? It's kind of funny how this morning goes. I was having a sun drop moment. I was just kind of daydreaming that I was driving down the road here and I was stranded on an island with Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Aniston, and Jennifer Nevels. And all of a sudden, poof, look at the hair. That ticks me up. Look at my truck now. How big. Look at this. Dent here, bounced off of here, right? And then, remember last week? The ice shanty going through the back of the window of the truck because the strap broke? Let's get some bait and let's get the heck out of here. Hey, this week on Larry Smith Outdoors, we're up here on the Wolf River fishing out of Fremont today. We stopped in at Ma's here and we're gonna grab some bait. I got all the guys guiding. I got my son Sawyer, of course I got Lance Sweeting guiding, and we're gonna have a great day. The fishing's actually been pretty good. The water is extremely high. This is the highest I've seen this water in probably about 10 years. So the fish are really pulling up out of the lake. Yesterday we did pretty good. We caught fish anchored up. We caught them vertical jigging on plastics and live bait. So let's see what happens today. And you know, when you're coming up to an area like this, it's a great way to know what's going on before you spend all the money and gas and time coming up here, is to give the bait shops a call. You know, give Dan here at Ma's a call, or give the guys up at New London at Johnny's a call, or even over at Critters at Winneconne. That's a great way to save yourself a lot of time, and you know what's going on, you know where they're biting, you know what to use. So, hey Dan, what's going on up here?
There's some fish being caught, some of the shallow inside bends, and
That's actually a good thing to talk about. You know, when you get a year like this here and the water's so high, Dan, them fish are not going to lay in them big holes like they would on a lower water year because there's so much current going through there. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. We've been anchoring up on the sides in that shallow water. I caught most of my fish yesterday out of 3-4 feet of water, and a lot of guys I see are vertical jigging through some of the good spots where the current's not so fast too. So, all right, we'll take some emerald shiners. You know what we're gonna do this morning? We're gonna go, Dan and I, Dan, the cave cameraman, and I are gonna go down river here. Our clients aren't getting here till 8:30. They're probably a little smarter than we are because it got so cold last night. It got down to 18, 20 degrees. It's probably gonna be a little bit later bite today, but we're gonna go down river, we're gonna anchor up, and we're gonna pump jigs and rigs and see what happens. You know, for me, I like to anchor up in the mornings like this and pump jigs or three-way rigs. And the key is, I always throw one anchor way out into the current, and then I'm using my power pole here, or throw another anchor towards shore so you can kind of adjust the boat as the morning goes on. Usually right away in the morning when it's dark out, them fish are really shallow. And then as it progresses, the morning comes, the sun starts coming up, what happens is the fish will slide out just a little bit, and more pressure coming up and down the river too. That'll push the fish out a little bit. But you got to look at this way, is that when these fish are migrating up into the river system. Sometimes they have almost a 100-mile run where they're going to go up into the marshes and spawn. They're not going to go through and fight that current all the way, so they're going to come down and take the easiest path. So they will go up these shallows where the current is more slack instead of pushing through that heavy-duty current. And the key to this kind of fishing is that the jig size. You want to make sure when you're pumping that jig that it goes right back in the same position all the time. And we talk about this a lot when you're doing this technique, is that when you're pumping a jig, like this one I've got a quarter on that's in my left hand because it's a little bit tighter in. That's in the one in the right hand, so you're looking at about a 10 feet difference, is got a 3/8 on it. That's how much of a difference we are in the current. That jig is about 40 feet away from the boat, and every time I pump it, it slides right back in the same position. So I'm just kind of lifting it up and letting it fall back. And I try to keep the line taut as it's going back, because that's when about 90% of the fish are actually gonna hit that jig when it's going back the middle. And I just got a shiner on there. I kind of dead hook them because I'm flipping them back and forth. I don't like using stingers for this, so I try to get that hook placement back, and I'll show you how I do that as far back as I can get it. And again, I like to use like a super braid just because it cuts the current a little bit better. You got a little bit better feel. And I use a really good swivel, again, because you're flipping it so hard all the time. If you didn't, after about 10 minutes of doing this without a swivel, you're going to have line twists in there like crazy. And then every time that jig is going back, you're taking the pressure off of it. It's going to be spinning like a helicopter. So the key is that as soon as you feel that fish, you obviously just set the hook on it, because you're dropping it back into his mouth right there. You know what? Maybe we should have slept in this morning, because I wouldn't have a big dent in my truck door probably, and my fingers wouldn't be froze, right? So we'll see what happens.
The Warrior story continues with the best tracking, driest ride in the industry. Designed with a high degree of dead rise and bow flare to push water out and down for a smooth, dry, comfortable ride. The smart trolling keel limits bow drift for enhanced boat control in the wind, and with a lifetime hull warranty, Warrior boats are built to last. Warrior Boats, a legend reborn.
Badger Sportsman Magazine, the premier outdoor magazine, published in Oshkosh and written by Wisconsin sportsmen for Wisconsin sportsmen. Get the most out of your time in the woods or on the water. Subscribe to Badger Sportsman Magazine today.
Hey folks, the Badger Sportsman Magazine wants to see a picture of you having fun in the outdoors. And to have a chance to win a trip with us here on Larry Smith Outdoors and a hard and soft water fishing kit, all you have to do is submit that picture to thebadgersportsman.com. Congratulations to Jordan Dorsch for winning the Badger Sportsman giveaway.
These guys, Lane and Dale, they were the only smart ones. They slept in a little bit this morning. Their fingers aren't froze yet, and now the fish should start biting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up above town here, and we might make a couple passes through. There's a big mob of guys up on the hook right there. That's Partridge Lake, where the rock wall comes around right there. And that's one thing about the Wolf River, is that in the spring like this, you got to really realize that you're going to probably end up fishing a lot of times in a number of boats, especially if you want a vertical jig. It doesn't take long for the word to get out with all the social media and other ways nowadays. So most of the time people know where the bites are happening. That's kind of the nice part about that, and the bait shop. So we're gonna go up above. We'll see what it looks like, but I think we might anchor up for a couple hours and pump jigs and then go vertical for quite a while rest of the afternoon. You know what we're doing now, we went to vertical jigging, and basically, again, trying to achieve that bottom all the time, and you're lifting straight up and down. We're kind of working the troughs now, a little bit. Oh, there we go, a little bit deeper. Boy, that one smacked it. Ooh, there we go. You know what I did, you guys, too, is I put a Kalins on there because of this dirty water. I stuck that Kalins on there, and I got a stinger hook. Good little fish right there. Get them in, Dale. Fling them in. Flip them right in. The flipper bipper. Nice job. Want to hold them towards the camera, Dale? Nice job.
Broke the ice. We're ready.
That's it. Now he's got the...
I got that smell.
Yeah. You were just saying that too, weren't you? Here we go, you guys. Ooh. I got that one on the stinger hook too. Popped right loose. Got him in the old chinny chin chin. It's very rare to see lightning in the daytime. Oh my gosh, lightning's tying a jig on. Did you get how he ties it on there? There we go. There we go, a little bit better with that one. Popped it pretty nice too. Again, using that plastic, you know, got the old Kalins on there. Gotta love that. You know, it's one thing about this system is that there is big fish in here, but you know that there's so much pressure on this body of water and there's no size limit on this system that a lot of the fish they get reaped out of here. They just don't have a chance to reach maturity where they get to that, you know, 20, 22 inch range. You know, another thing is that our forage levels have been low. The last 3-4 years, we finally got decent forage levels now, and that's another big thing because when the forage levels are low, it's the advantage of the fishermen. When you come down a river, you look at all the different types of boats, ages, you know. You see boats that are built in the 60s still running, motors in that era, you know. And you look at boats that one time cost $1,200, $1,500 new. Now you look at these new boats that are $60,000 and $80,000. So it's a change of the era. Nobody even back then paid that much for their house. There you go, Lane. Nice job. That's a little better fish. Nice job. Want to hold them up? I must have dropped that right down. Yep, that one sucked that whole thing in that time, I'll tell you that. He wanted that Kalins. Sucker. Oh, see? I gave you that big jig and look at what happened.
Ah, and that's a 20 incher.
Right.
Hey, today we're in the kitchen with Shotgun Schaefer. We are making panko crusted Hellman's walleye. Larry caught these the other day, handed it to me, says, do something with them, Shotgun. So I'm gonna make a quick, easy recipe for you guys. First of all, take a little seasoning, sea salt, throw it over the top of your fish. Always season before you put all your other ingredients on, so it stays on your fish. Fresh ground black pepper. And this one too, as long as the fish is thawed out, pat it down, make it dry. See how dry my fish is? You don't want to make it wet because then your Hellman's will not stick to the meat. Take a little bit of Hellman's, slap it on there, put a fine glaze over it. And this almost ends up to be like a tartar sauce on your fish. Take a little bit of garlic, lightly garlic it. And we are using 4 cheese panko. Put a nice layer on it. This is going to be your bark to your fish. It's going to put a nice little crust on it. My side to go with this one, so the kids eat it with me, I just happen to have some tater tots. So I'm going to throw them in the same time on the pan, so that way when everything comes out, it's good to go. For some reason, kids, well, who doesn't love tater tots on fish with fish fry? Let's throw this in the oven and see how it looks in about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, let's put this in the oven. Top shelf again. I have the oven set at 350. Once again, the panko is going to turn just a little bit of color. Mayonnaise is going to loosen up and go right in the joints of all the meat. Tater tots should be done. Let's open it up in about 10 minutes and see what we got. All right, let's check out our finished product. Oh, see how it's bubbling on the outside of the pan there? See how nice and flaky that fish looks? The panko turned a little different color there. All right, let's plate this walleye up and give it a taste. Oh, see how she's flaking apart? That's exactly what you want, folks. That fish is done perfect. It's flaking, it's nice and white. Oh. Presentation is everything. All right, let's give it a taste. Let's dig in. That panko really turns this fish around. It's really crispy. Great day to be alive. Larry, go catch me some more walleye so I can make some more fish.
Galen's grubs have been out fishing other plastics for years thanks to their unique action. But the time has come to shake things up a bit. Introducing the Kalen Seismic series of grub swim baits and worms. Whether you're drop shotting them for bass or swimming them for walleyes.
Look at that walleye!
Their action is earth-shattering.
Proving yet again that the best never rest, Otter introduces Otter Thermal Tech, the proprietary full thermal shelf found on every 2015 Otter shelter. Beginning with the all-new XT-H hub shelters and the all-new lightweight one-man XT hideout, on up to the ever-popular XT and XT Pro Series shelters that have earned a near-legendary reputation for unmatched toughness and durability. At Otter, we know stopping at good enough is way overrated. This ice season, see for yourself how the best just keep getting better.
Hey, this week on Larry Smith Outdoors, we're up fishing on the Wolf River yesterday and we did pretty good. And today we were lucky enough to come out and do a little shocking with Adam here and the gang. And I'll tell you, boy, oh boy, I can't believe the amount of fish. I don't know how these fish ever got past me when I was fishing downriver, but I'll tell you, it is amazing the number of big females that we saw today when we were shocking. Can you tell us a little bit about the program that we have going here?
Yeah, so we're actually sitting right now in Scores Marsh.
Okay.
One of the most productive marshes on the Wolf River. So you can see in the background, we've kind of got flooded marsh, flooded timber, and the fish really like to get in these kind of areas, find some grass to spawn on, and they spawn and then their eggs can sit on that grass until some full flushes of fry down. So.
And how long does that take before that happens? They hatch out?
It takes, could be about a week or so, depends on the water temperature too. It can go a few days longer.
Sure.
Maybe even a little shorter. So those fry will hatch and then they'll be out looking for zooplankton. So, and hopefully you got enough full high water year like this year that flushes those fry down in the Winnebago and the Upper River Lakes. So this is kind of the cornerstone of the walleye program, habitat management. We do brushing, mowing, try to encourage good vegetation growth in here. So big part of it.
It is, and you're saying a lot of this stuff too, Adam. The clubs really help you guys out big time with what goes on here, because obviously there's not always a lot of funds for these kind of projects that are really needed to keep this system as strong as it is.
Yeah, we've got great support from local clubs, Walleyes for Tomorrow, Battle on Bagel. I could go through a whole list of them around the lake that we reach out to, and by us reaching out to and really talking to them, they've helped us out. This boat we're sitting on is a lot from Walleyes for Tomorrow.
That's awesome.
You know, without their help and other clubs' help, it'd be hard to pull off some of the work we do.
Right. You know, and these fish that you're tagging, you know, a lot of people might not know that you guys are tagging. How many fish do you tag every spring? You try to tag, I should say.
We aim to tag 3,000 to 5,000 fish each spring.
Okay.
And those are yellow tags. Each of them got an ID number on it. And we encourage anglers to return them to us. That's how we calculate our exploitation to help manage the system.
So when an angler catches one of these fish and he takes the tag off it, and what does he do? Call it in, or I mean?
There's a couple of ways he can mail it in.
Right.
The DNR Oshkosh address is right on that tag.
Okay.
They can mail it into that address. or they can email it, which a lot of people are going to these days. It's DNR Winnebago System Tag Returns at wisconsin.gov. Kind of a mouthful.
Right, that's pretty good.
If not, if you can't figure out how to return it, give us a call, contact us, and we'll make sure you get it in.
And what happens, what kind of information do they get back when they do return these tags?
Yeah, we get the return in, and Jake, our return guy, gets them in pretty fast, usually a couple of weeks. We do our best with the workload, and they get a certificate that's got where their fish was caught, when it was tagged,
yep,
how big it was, so they can kind of see how big it's grown, how far it's moved. You know, anglers really like to see a fish that was tagged in Spores Marsh that they've caught, you know, over by Lake Winnebago somewhere.
Yeah, and how many miles would that be if a guy caught a fish that was tagged up here?
Well, they can go over 100 miles.
That's amazing.
So,
wow.
It's a lot of mileage.
Right,
sure.
So that's cool information when you do catch a walleye that does have a tag on it.
Yeah, and I know some guys even frame that certificate. So
right.
It's kind of a little, you know, gives them something to talk about when they're around the picnic table or something like that.
Right.
All right, we got a female, green, 25-2. Tag number 167853. These are the tags here. It's got our Oshkosh DNR office, so if an angler catches it, you can just mail it to that. Otherwise, we do have an email system. It's DNR Winnebago System Tag Returns at wisconsin.gov. So we've got a couple ways you can turn them in, and we encourage any angler that catches one to turn them in to us so we can keep track of what's going on out here. So,
how about if the guy decides that he wants to let a fish like that go? Can you still want him to pop the tag off it, or just leave it alone, or just get the number off of it?
He can get the number from it. I mean, Jake's our tag return guy back there. So,
okay.
What do you think? Best for
the
that?
best thing is if you can just read the tag to take it off of there.
Okay.
And then if you can release it, if it's caught again, the tag's still there.
Okay, makes sense. A lot of sense. Hey Adam, a fish that size, how old was that female? Would you estimate her at?
It's probably likely either from the 2008 year class or 2005.
Okay.
So, this one here is 22-8, green female. This fish here, more than likely, from the 2008 year class.
You think because her jaw is all ripped that somebody had caught her and let her go? Probably not too long ago?
That's possible.
Right.
Hard to say. You don't see that very often, but you never know. I mean, these things are coming through the timber. You never know what they might get caught on.
Right.
Male, 15-6.
How old is a male before it actually milks on the eggs, spawns? Like that's.
Once they hit 3 years old, they're all mature.
They're mature, huh?
Yep. Male, 15-7.
Female's the same, 3?
Female's about 30% at 4.
Okay,
and then
so 4.
The majority at age 5 will.
So it takes a female 5 years before she's mature enough. Wow.
See, that's why I like catching fish better, so somebody else nets them.
Male, yep. 17-2. And you just right here.
Push in. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit the trigger.
Hit the trigger.
Hit the wrist, and then you
check it.
Check it so it seats in there, and you're good to go.
Green female, 20.5. You know, I appreciate all the work that you guys do because, you know, we really appreciate catching a lot of fish. And you know what? You know, and if a lot of people have mixed emotions about the DNR, but I always say this, if it wasn't really for the DNR, we wouldn't have anything. So, you know, that's kind of the way you got to look at it. It's a good way to keep track of everything that's going on in the system, and it's just it's nice that you guys are out here working hard for us.
Yep, and we take volunteers out too. So
right.
If anyone ever wants to come out, shocking, trawling, give me a call, email me. We'll try to get them out there, and you know, younger generation too, kids. anybody. We want to get some younger kids out here too to see what's out here for them to enjoy.
That would be a great opportunity. I don't know, you got a pretty tough staff up there as far as competition, as far as netting. I didn't even come close. I think it was like, 10-1, but I gave it a good try. So, hey, no, I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. And hey, stay tuned. Let's see what happens on Larry Smith Outdoors and enjoy our show.
Big Snow Resorts, your destination for winter family fun in the north. Enjoy 2 resorts on 1 ticket. With over 400 skiable acres, it's the largest ski experience in the Midwest. Full-service resorts offering pro shop service, hotel, chalet, and trailside condo lodging, 6 dining facilities, 4 bars, and with weekly special events, exceptional fun for everyone. For details, please call or visit BigSnowResorts.com today.
With ice fishing just around the corner, it's time to gear up. Check out the new Pro Skimmer by Deep Freeze. Offered in 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch models. The fastest ice skimmer on the market. And once you're ready for those tip-ups, don't forget about Blue Tips, the first tip-up alert system sent straight to your smartphone. Free app available on Android and iOS. Check out these and other products at deepfreezefishing.com or any of your favorite retailers.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what you're doing. Oh, whoa, holy moly. Look at that fish. That's what we came here. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nice job. That is a big female. Look at the size of that fish right there. Gotta love that. Go on, make some babies. Hey, like always, you know what, you guys, we had a great day, a lot of fun. Hey, and also remember to watch us at 7:30 a.m. on Sunday mornings on Fox Sports and Fox North. And always, for sure, remember, it's a great day to be alive.
Okay, try and keep my shadow off of you. See, right now you're getting it. See how I'm...
Good?
I'm right on you. What are you talking about?
Are you good?
No, I want the sun in your face. There you go. Now we can see you. Hey.
Never mess with a man that's got a throttle in his hand.